Anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorders are like that one friend who's always worried about everything. Generalized anxiety disorder makes you anxious about a wide range of everyday issues. Social anxiety disorder makes you feel like you're always on stage, terrified of judgment from others. And panic disorder? Well, that's like having a surprise fire drill in your brain, with panic attacks striking out of nowhere. These disorders can make life feel like a constant state of alert. Depressive disorders. Depression isn't just feeling sad, it's like your emotions have gone on strike. Major depressive disorder, MDD, is a heavy hitter, making even the simplest tasks feel like climbing Everest. Persistent depressive disorder, or dysthymia, is like having a gloomy cloud following you around all day, every day. These disorders can drain the joy out of life, making it hard to find motivation or pleasure in anything. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. ADHD is like having a TV with 500 channels and no remote. Your brain just keeps flipping through stations, making it hard to focus on one thing for very long. It's not just about being hyperactive, it's also about struggling to stay organized, follow through on tasks, and manage time effectively. ADHD can make everyday tasks feel like a juggling act. Obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD. OCD is like your brain has a glitch that keeps repeating the same command. It tells you to check the door is locked, again and again and again. It's not about being neat, it's about trying to control the chaos in your head. These compulsions can be time-consuming and distressing, interfering with daily life. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. PTSD is the uninvited guest that crashes your mental party after something traumatic happens. It's like a horror movie playing on repeat, and you can't find the remote to turn it off. Flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety make it hard to escape the past, even when you're safe in the present. Eating disorders. Eating disorders are about more than food. Anorexia nervosa is like an overzealous coach telling you to lose more weight, no matter how thin you get. Bulimia nervosa is the roller coaster of binging and purging, leaving you feeling out of control. Binge eating disorder is like a food marathon you didn't sign up for, leading to guilt and shame. These disorders are complex and dangerous, affecting both physical and mental health. Bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is like living on a seesaw. One minute you're on top of the world, mania, with boundless energy and creativity, and the next, you're in the depths of despair, depression. It's an emotional roller coaster with extreme highs and lows, making stability a constant challenge. Borderline personality disorder. BPD is like trying to navigate life with a GPS that constantly recalculates. Relationships, emotions, and self-image can change rapidly, making everything feel unstable. Intense fear of abandonment, impulsive actions, and extreme mood swings are common, making it hard to maintain steady relationships and self-esteem. Substance use disorders. Substance use disorders are like a bad relationship with drugs or alcohol. You know it's not good for you, but it's hard to break up. It starts as fun, but quickly turns into dependency, affecting your health, relationships, and daily functioning. Self-harm and non-suicidal self-injury, NSSI. Self-harm is like your brain's misguided attempt to deal with emotional pain through physical means. It's not about wanting to die, it's about trying to feel something different or release the pressure. This behavior can be a cry for help and a way to cope with overwhelming emotions. Schizophrenia and other psychotic disorders. Schizophrenia is like having a radio in your head that plays voices or makes you see things that aren't there. It's a detachment from reality that's both confusing and frightening. Delusions, hallucinations, and disorganized thinking can make it hard to differentiate between what's real and what's not. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD. ASD is like being tuned into a different frequency. It affects social interactions and communication, but it's also linked with unique strengths and talents. Think of it as a different way of experiencing the world, where routines are comforting and sensory experiences can be overwhelming. Conduct disorder. Conduct disorder is like having a rebellious streak that goes too far. It involves aggressive or antisocial behavior that violates societal norms and the rights of others. This can include lying, stealing, and being physically violent, often leading to trouble with the law and strained relationships. Oppositional defiant disorder, ODD. ODD is like having a tiny rebel in your head. It makes you argue with authority and refuse to follow rules, often just for the sake of defiance. This can strain relationships with parents, teachers, and peers, making everyday interactions a battleground. Sleep disorders. Sleep disorders are like having a sleep thief that robs you of rest. Insomnia keeps your brain buzzing when it should be snoozing, making it hard to fall asleep. Sleep apnea interrupts your sleep with breathing problems, leaving you exhausted the next day. Both disorders can turn you into a zombie, affecting your mood, concentration, and overall health. Dissociative disorders. Dissociative identity disorder, DID, is like your mind creating different personas to cope with trauma. It's like having different characters in a play, each with their own role and memories. This fragmentation of identity can be a way to protect oneself from severe emotional pain. Somatic symptom and related disorders. Somatization disorder is when emotional distress turns into physical symptoms, like stomach aches and headaches. Illness anxiety disorder, formerly known as hypochondria, is like being convinced you have every disease you read about on WebMD. These disorders can lead to frequent doctor visits and a constant preoccupation with health. Phobias. Phobias are like an intense fear of specific things. Specific phobias could be anything from spiders to heights, making it hard to function normally around those triggers. Agoraphobia is the fear of places where escape might be difficult, making it hard to leave home and engage in everyday activities. Adjustment disorders. Adjustment disorders are like having a hard time coping with major life changes. It's an emotional reaction that makes it tough to adjust to new situations, whether it's moving to a new city, starting a new job, or experiencing a breakup. This can lead to feelings of anxiety, depression, and behavioral issues. Gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is the distress caused by a mismatch between one's gender identity and their assigned gender at birth. It's like living in a body that doesn't feel like home, leading to significant discomfort and distress. Seeking support and understanding can help navigate this complex and deeply personal experience. Understanding these mental health issues is crucial. It's important to seek help and support for others who might be struggling. Mental health matters, and so do you.